And at this time, I'd like to call a special village board meeting to order. Let the record reflect that it's Tuesday, October 8th, 2019. The village clock has it at 7:26 PM, and I do apologize for the delay. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Brennan.
Present.
Trustee Galante.
Here.
Trustee Glatz is absent. Trustee Mueller.
Here.
President Vandenberg.
Present. Trustee Glatz is present. Item 1, before I call that, I would explain why there's a red jersey hanging from the dais. This past Friday, 2 Augustinian schools battled it out in New Lenox. My alma mater, Providence Catholic, was defeated by none other than its sister school, St. Rita of Cascia.
In my alma mater.
Oh, 1,000 pardons. And there was a gentlemanly wager that was placed by Village Council Pat Conley, who was also the St. Rita defensive coordinator.
Just a linebacker,
Oh,
coach. Slow down.
okay, I'm giving you a little bit too much credit, I guess, then. There was a very interesting photo captured of you with your headgear on in the press box, and you really zoned in, just like you are here at the meetings, Mr. Conley. But congratulations to you and your team, St. Rita, for a 23-0 victory over at Providence Catholic High School. So congratulations to you.
2022.
And Trustee Brennan's there, so we both have our jerseys, and Dominic Sanfilippo is going to be wearing one tomorrow at Village Hall, from what I understand. So glad that I got that out of the way.
The color looks good, gentlemen. Thank you.
So we'll move on to item 1. This time I'd ask for a motion to consider approval of the agenda. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Properly
Second.
moved and
Second.
seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion will carry. Thank you. Item number 2, Trustee Brady.
I'd like to have the board consider adopting resolution 2019 R-107, approving a settlement agreement between Omar Jabbar and the Village of Tinley Park, CH 12754.
So moved. Properly
Get a
moved and seconded.
This resolution approves a settlement between the agreement in the class action suit, Jerry Barr plus the Village of Tinley Park, 15 CH 12754, pertaining to a village past water service billing. The court has preliminarily approved the terms of the agreement. Pursuant to the agreement, the village is agreeing to pay the amount up to $425,000 directly to the customers of Tinley Park Water System, and to pay and reasonable attorney fees and cost awarded up to the court of up to $265,000, of which $150,000 will be paid for by the village's risk pool at the time of the suit. The cost of the class administration will pay the class representative an incentive award of $5,000. Each class member will receive payments based upon the number of water bills received that were for water usage in excess of 35,000 gallons. Category 1, one instance of billing in excess of 35,000 gallons, they would get $10. For 2 incidences of billing in excess of 35,000 gallons, they would get $15. 3 or more incidences billing in excess of 35,000 gallons, they would receive $20. 0 incidences of billing in excess of 35,000 gallons, the person would receive $3. Per the terms of the agreement, the village must retain First Class as the class action claims administrator. All necessary information for residents to make claims will be provided by First Class. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Trustee Brady. I know our counselor is here. Is there anything you'd like to add for the record? Counselor Nemeth?
As you know, all of the water meters at issue, the Severn Trent water meters were obviously replaced by the village several years ago at a cost pushing $7 million, as I understand it, in excess of $6.5 million. From our viewpoint, this is the last component of what's remaining with regard to the legal action. The court has considered this in a preliminary approval hearing, found that the terms of the settlement agreement were fair, adequate, and reasonable under the circumstances. And we're hoping that this can finally put the litigation to bed. I'm happy to answer any other questions that you may have, so directed.
Thank you, Brandon. And just to add to that, so as was mentioned in the motion, we've retained an outside firm that will actually be handling the administration of this. So there will be publicity out. There's going to be a website that will be active, I think, in about 10 days or so. Yeah, that we'll definitely publicize that. There will be a phone number, and we'll also have forms available at Village Hall. But just to reiterate again, that this firm will be really handling all the information requests, the processing, and things like that, but we will be publicizing contact information on their website once it gets active.
Very good. Brandon, is there anything else?
Yeah, in terms of when things will start rolling after the approval here tonight, we'll be moving towards issuing what are known as postcard notices. So 4x6 postcards will go out to all customers of the village's water system. The due date to issue those postcards is October 16th. So it'll take a few days after that to make it into everyone's mailboxes. After that, the customers would then have the opportunities to submit claims, opt out, file objections. The due date for those actions by the customers is November 20th. The matter is currently set for a final approval hearing or fairness hearing on December 4th in the Cook County Circuit Court. Depending on the results of that hearing, then we ultimately move forward with making final payments, and the payments based on claims submitted would be handled by First Class, the claims administrator.
Anything from the board? This has been a long couple of years referencing this class action suit. Brandon, thank you to you and your firm at Query and Harrow and Irma Risk Pool for your representation, as well as Dominic Lanzito at PJM for representing the village and its constituents. And I'm glad to see this case hopefully come to a close very soon. So this is up for adoption. We will call a roll call, please.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 3, receive comments from the staff. Is there any staff comment this evening? Item 4, receive comments from the board.
So just, in case anyone doesn't have any, generally we are in a special meeting, we kind of have to stay on agenda topics, this being a special meeting. So before we go too far on comments here.
Okay. yeah,
From the board.
That's fine. Is there any comments from the board? No. Move on to item 5, receive comments from the public. Does the same apply for this? Does it have to be pertaining to the?
No, I'm not going to talk about and continue on what I was talking about before, Pat. This is on topic because this board did exactly what you did that I want to comment about. Since the rules are you have to ask for a few minutes extra right when you start, I'm going to ask Mr. Mayor if I have to talk slow, if I can proceed on.
Is there any objections?
Yeah, we changed it from 4 to 6, so there wouldn't be any more need for extended time.
So you have 6 minutes, Mr. Everhart.
All righty. You know, the attitude of this board is less the public knows, the better you feel. Again, and I point out, you passed an ordinance that you were going to ask, or you were going to let the public comment on every item that was up for final approval. You didn't do that. Your ordinance, spearheaded by Trustee Glatz, was passed on May 7th, and it did.
We're veering off, our agenda here. I know, I'm sure
All right,
you're
Mr.
gonna wrap, I'm
Conlon,
sure you're gonna bring it in, but, special meeting, we have to
Right.
stay on agenda topic.
I am commenting about your denying the public the right to get up before final action was taken. Your ordinance, spearheaded by Mr. Glotz, passed on May 7th, says this: all public comments are limited to 6 minutes, and each person shall only be permitted to speak once. However, underline the new language, each person shall be allowed to speak once in accordance with this policy on each agenda item other than the consent agenda items that are presented for final adoption. You again violated that by not opening it up to the public before you took your vote. This has been a consistent thing, and I'll have to try and summarize because of time limitations, because of Mr. Glotz's, who likes his people coming up here and commenting, but not
Mr. Everhart,
anybody
keep it
else.
together.
Everyone gets 6 minutes, Steve.
Okay,
That's why
there.
we extended it, so you could have 2 more.
On
minutes
rare,
to
this is
speak.
my time, excuse me, public
We
comment.
did a question and answer last time, so I'm just explaining myself to you.
Mr. Mayor, can I go on 6 minutes without being
If you could
interrupted?
just finish up your comment, Mr. Everhart.
On rare occasion, this board, whether it's you or whether it's the mayor pro tem, before an ordinance is voted on or a resolution is voted on, says, are there any comments from the public? I noticed at the October 1st board meeting that this wasn't
Mr.
done.
Everhart, we're now off talking about this agenda, this item. I understand where you're going, but this is a.
Well, if you
it's a
understand
special
where I'm
meeting.
going, Mr. Conley, you'll know that I am commenting about this board violating their public comment ordinance. You did it again. I would like to comment on it, and if you don't want to let me comment it, just tell me, no
I
more
did- I
comments,
didn't-
Mr.
I
Eberhard.
did not say that. That's not what I said.
It's a special board.
You're
Well,
going- you're
then
going
what
back
you're
to-
doing,
you're
then
going
what
back
you're
to
doing is you're taking up my time because you know where I'm going, and you're gonna burn up this
I'm
6
just saying,
minutes.
It's a special meeting. We stay on the agenda in special meetings. You were going back to an earlier October meeting. Continue with your comments.
So you're saying, again, we're burning up my time here. You're saying that I cannot comment on the board's violation of their
I
own
did not say
ordinances,
that.
just like you did
I
tonight?
did
All right,
not
fine,
say that.
fine. I will then note for the record, you're burning up my time. You're not letting me talk on a comment that affects what you did tonight. We'll move on. I'll file the proper complaints. Thank you.
You still got 2 minutes left. There's no need for an extension. Let the record reflect there was 2 minutes and 16 seconds left for Mr. Everhart.
You sure?
Yes.
Don't explain. Are there any other comments? This time we'll move for an adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Properly
Second.
moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Special Village Board meeting is adjourned. Thank you.